Welcome to Me Quitting Jobs, or welcome back to Me Quitting Jobs. Before you even say anything, yes, I quit another job, but you need to quit judging because I have a valid reason, just like all the other jobs that I quit, I have valid reasons. So if you just hold your judgment to the end of the video, you'll understand why I quit my job at Petsmart. But yes, we're back with another story time about why I quit another job. You know what? Let's just get into it. This playlist of why I quit my job at, yeah, there's gonna be more videos after this about why I quit my job at other places. But just the way my life is set up. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna start off with the fact that my car was broke down last year. Let's start off with that. That plays a decent part into this whole job thing or whatever, right? So I don't know if y'all watched my mukbang, my broke down BMW video. It was actually broke down. That wasn't like to be fun, like not to be funny, like that. It was broke down, and I just wanted to use in the car for a video. So yeah, that video. So my car was broke down by choice, by choice, broke down, and I say by choice because initially, like, I work on my car and like I fix my car and like just so many problems like back to back to back or whatever. So just BMW thing. So I got tired of spending money on it. So by choice, I didn't want to get it fixed because I was like, I just spent money on this. I'm not gonna get it fixed. If you don't break down, you can break down. You can sit there. Da 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 da. So then I was like, I'll just get a job that's like close. So I got a job that was like literally 0.2 miles, like PetSmart from my house, 0.2 miles away. I got this job in like May or something of last year, right? So it would be like walking distance. Although I didn't want to walk, but I was like, this car could just sit here. I'm gonna spend money on other things than constantly fixing this car if it's just gonna keep like something new, right? And the job position was a part-time job. Part-time, but part-time means like 20 hours plus. So my manager was like, it's like part-time, but like we're kind of understaffed, so like I don't know if you mind getting more hours. And I'm like, no, that is fine. Like, I'm not doing anything else. So, like, yeah, like 30 hours. I was getting like 30, 35 hours, whatever. So, pretty much like a full-time job. Although it was part-time, I was working pretty much like a full-time job almost. So, I was supposed to wear like jeans or khakis or something. So, I was wearing jeans, but like the jeans was too tight and I didn't want to like walk. So, I was like, I'll just ride my bike. A bike that I got for my 16th birthday when I was supposed to get a car. But my dad got me a bike. That's a whole nother story. That is a whole nother story. I was supposed to get a car, but I got a bike. Anyways, fast forward to me just being a grown man working at PetSmart, riding a bike to work with a broke down car. We're here. So, so I'm riding my bike for like, I think a couple weeks or something like that. And then I would like park the bike behind the store or whatever. Tell me why one day I came out of my job and my bike was gone. Somebody stole my bike. Not only was my car broke down and I was paying a car note and car insurance for a car that I wasn't driving, but somebody stole my bike. Somebody stole the bike. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's great. It is great. That's why I have a scooter. That's why I have a scooter. A scooter that I got for my 12th birthday. Many years ago I got for my 12th birthday, but I was like, we still got this scooter. Let's scooter it out. Literally me being big and grown on a scooter, like, because I'm just like, I don't want to get my car fixed. I don't want to get my car fixed. Like I hate my car. I hate my life. Like scooting to work, like scooting to this PetSmart. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it fixed. I'm just going to get it fixed. So because I'm tired of like the scooter action, like with the bike, it was fine. With the bike, it was cute. But with the scooter, that's not cute. The scooter didn't even have brakes, mind you. So like almost got hit by a car on the way to PetSmart. Almost got run over. So here's when things start to like become a problem. So I wanted to get my car fixed. This is going to be a whole separate video about this worst mechanic or whatever, but I wanted to get my car fixed, so I got it towed to the mechanic. On July 8th, I got it towed to the mechanic, and the mechanic was like, oh, we're going to fix it, yada, 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 etc., etc. My car's at the mechanic or whatever, and a couple days later, they say they fixed my car, and I go and I get it, and I'm like, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and then like a couple days later, it breaks back down, literally after like 4 days or something like that. So then get another tow truck. Third time getting it towed to the mechanic. So this is like, I think the 15th, July 15th or something like that. Get it towed again. And then like A couple weeks later, they didn't fix it. So then I had to get it towed again. And it was just a hot mess. We were like pushing the thing on the tow truck to get it towed somewhere else. I used an entire year's worth of a AAA membership within like less than a month. So I'm just setting up the scene here. Have a car, paying a car note, paying car insurance, riding a bike, someone stole the bike, riding a scooter, the scooter's falling apart, no brakes, I almost died. The mechanics aren't fixing my car, but I just spent all this money that I'm not making at this job. We're getting to the point. So my car ends up getting fixed by the actual dealership and not these whatever mechanic that just wasn't fixing it. So we're fast forward just to the point where I have a car and I'm driving to work. Things are going decent. I love animals, so the place was like, okay, but like everybody hates customers, so like that part wasn't fun, obviously. But then a time came where I decided to wrap my car green, like I wrapped half of it green or whatever, and drove to work. And at this point, I have been driving my car just like my normal, like driving my car to work for like 2 months now. So I wrapped my car green, and then people just start being like annoying or like weird, like my manager, one of my managers was like, oh, you can't park your car up front. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I've been doing this for 2 months or like 3 months or whatever the case. And she's like, yeah, that's like for customers parking like up front. Because y'all know how a building will be like the building, then there's the spots in front of the building, and then the other spots, the other parking spots are like this. So yeah, so the building, the parking spots, and then the rest of the parking spots. So I'll usually park like right here. Been doing that for like 2.5 months. And then all of a sudden, literally as soon as I wrap my car, they're like, no, you can't do that. That's customer parking. So I'm like, okay, why all of a sudden now? But anyways, so I move my car and I park it in like one of these parking spots. Then they're like, that's still up close, like that's still in front, and that customers have to park there. And I'm like, what customers, like. So I started noticing that people were just being like weird or being funny and stuff like that, and it's like, for a certain pay rate, there's only so much I can tolerate. But I was like, you know what, it's fine. If people just want to be jealous or whatever the case, which is not even like, it's not, I really don't see my car as anything. It's just like, it's just you know what I mean? But people want to be funny. People want to act, everybody was just driving their Fords and their Toyotas at work. So if they want to be funny, they can be funny. I'll park somewhere else. Whatever, fine. So fast forward like a week or two later, my manager, like I see the schedule, and my manager cut my hours to like, from 35 hours to like 10 hours. From 35 hours to 10 hours. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? At the pay rate of like $11 an hour, if you do the math minus tax, that's $100 a week. Do that, that's $400 a month. At the time, my car note was like $250, car insurance $205. I couldn't even afford my car, and I have to get stuff fixed all the time. So I'm like, what is this? So you cut my hours, I can't park up front, like y'all are acting funny. It was just very much annoying. So at this point, I realized, I'm like, okay, if y'all want to act funny and I'm not getting hours, and I'm like, even though I'm like, even though I'm like a child mentally, I'm a grown man, and if y'all want to give me like $400 a month, like what is that? $400 a month? $400 a month? What am I supposed to do with $400 a month? I cannot even. I can't do nothing with $400 a month. So I was like, you know what? I decided to quit or whatever. So, but before I quit, I decided to roll into another job. So mind you, at this point, I had that job for like 5 months. So before y'all talk about, you get a job every other week, 5 months, that's pretty good for me, 5 months. So at this point, I'm like, I'm just going to roll into another job. So I went to an interview for Amazon, and we all know how that turned out. Just my life. Anyways, but I thought it was going to be a good deal because I'm like, I'm making 11 something. Amazon is paying 15 something. Or I think I literally was making like 16 something or whatever. So I'm like, Amazon's going to be great. So let me quit this job and start at Amazon. So I literally go into work and I'm like, hey, I'm talking to one of my coworkers. I'm like, hey, what is like the protocol to quit? Because I usually just like dip out. But since I live across the street, it'd kind of be weird with my whole like neon car, y'all just seeing me like about and not showing up. So I'm like, I guess I should like officially quit because I never really do that. So I don't know how that goes. You know what I mean? So he was like, oh, we're gonna want to put in your like your 2 week notice, and I'm like, no, I mean like, how do I quit tomorrow? Like, what do I say? He was like, yeah, so tomorrow you'll just come in and you'll just like let them know that you're putting your 2 week notice. I'm like, you're missing the point that I'm leaving tomorrow. Like, tomorrow's my last day. Like, I don't even see a point of me coming again for like $90. You know what I mean? Like, for a week. Like, that doesn't make sense. So then he was like, oh, well, you kind of have to put in your night. I'm like, I'm leaving tomorrow, sweetie. I'm leaving tomorrow and you're making less than me. I don't know how you put up with this. You're making less than me and you're over here trying to tell me that I have to put in a 2 week notice to leave when I'm not even getting paid and my hours are getting cut and all these people are acting funny about me parking in my car now all of a sudden. That is green. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to talk to the manager tomorrow. So then I come in or whatever and oh my God, me just literally remembering. Yeah, so I come in the next day and I'm like, hey, and she just like such a like like person. I'm like, hey, I have to talk to you about something. She's like, wow, what are you talking to me about? And I'm like, it's kind of serious. And she was like, are you gonna quit? And I was like, like, what are the odds that somebody would guess that? Like, I low-key feel like they wanted, like, they kind of like, that was odd. Like, of all things, why would you guess that I was gonna quit? I'm like, sweetie, yes, I'm quitting. So, and she was like, just come to the office with me or whatever. Go to the office, and then she was like, so are you putting your 2 week notice? And I'm like, no, I was like, I got a new job or whatever, so I'm leaving. Like, today is kind of my last day. And she was like, so you're not gonna put in your 2 week notice and you're just gonna leave? She was like, you do know, look, this woman literally told me. This woman told me, said well, if you leave, if you leave, she said, if you leave right now, you're gonna, and not put in a 2 week notice, you're gonna be unhireable to ever come back to PetSmart. Like, I want to come back to PetSmart. Girl, bye. I was like, so I can't ever come back to work here? She was like, yeah, you won't ever be able to come back. And I know you said that you really enjoyed this job. Girl, what? Why would I ever come back to PetSmart for $11 an hour? Got me dead. Dead's a cockroach.
Dead as a cockroach.
I was like, you guys, I really was trying to hold in my laughter. Like, these people think I'm a joke? Because at this point, I'm insulted. And then the fact that one of our managers, like the top manager, literally told me, she was like, because I said something like after I wrapped my car, I was like, oh, like I really like this color, but like next year I think I'm gonna change the color or something like that, or I don't know, maybe in a few months or something. And she literally said, you're not gonna be able to afford to keep wrapping your car if you just want to keep like switching stuff up. Excuse me, I didn't know you was counting I didn't know you was counting my dollars, because by the way, side note, everything that I did to my car, none of that money came out of my job, because clearly like I wasn't even making enough. The wrap alone was $300, making $400 and something a month. You do the math. I get money else places. So I already was thrown by that. Like, y'all are acting funny and then you're over here saying weird comments and then all this other stuff on the side, and then you're cutting my hours, and I just feel like it's being funny. Okay, so I don't know how I left this part out, but so y'all know, like, if you look at any of my past videos, I dye my hair all the time. I haven't really dyed it this year because I'm trying to like let it grow out, trying to like be healthy and like let it grow out and yada yada yada, because my edges fell out. It's a long story. Anyways, my edges are back grown in, and so pretty much back when I worked at PetSmart, I would dye my hair and stuff like that, and literally the first time I dyed my hair, I came into work, which, like, I mean, I already started the job with, like, colored hair, like, slightly colored hair. Like, it was some color or something like that. So it was already I was already on like the rainbow, like the color scheme. You know what I mean? Like the color wheel. I was already up in there anyways. So I dyed my hair like a different color and I came into work and my manager was like, um, you dyed your hair and you didn't think that you should run that by me? At $11 an hour? Why would I run that by you? I was like, no, I've been dyeing my hair for about the past 5 years. Never ran that by anybody but myself. Um, why, is there a problem? And she was like, I mean, because I'm like, yo, because other people had colored hair. So I'm like, is there a problem? And she was like, I mean, I would have said yes anyways, but it's usually like to like let me know, like give a heads up. For what reason? Like if you're gonna say yes anyways, what reason? What benefit would you have of me telling you that my hair is gonna be a different color the next day? Stuck. Like, exactly. Like, no benefit in that at whatsoever. Like, this is why I just hate jobs and people in there trying to feel like they're the Queen of England. Like, ma'am, get off your high horse before you break it. Because, anyways, just thought I would add that in there because every time I did my hair or dyed my hair, because I had a couple different hairstyles and hair colors while I was there, it was always like a let me know before you do something else. Anyways, just wanted to add that on. And there was a whole bunch of other small incidences that happened while I was there. So it wasn't just me getting going from 35 hours to 10 hours and then being funny with my car and me having to park in the back of the parking lot and walk up front and I was the only black person there. So it was being, just wanted to add this in here. So I told the manager, I was like, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave and this will be it. And she said the least you could do is come in tomorrow because since you're telling me late notice, the least you could do is come in tomorrow because or else we're gonna have to find somebody to fill in for you. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Like, what does that have to do with me? I don't work here anymore, sweetie. I'm a customer now. So and then I was like, all right, and I just got my stuff and I was leaving and she was like, and by the way, you're gonna have to bring that shirt back. Are y'all paying me gas money to drive zero point 0.2 miles and bring this shirt back? No. So guess what? I still got the shirt because I'm not driving all the way back there 0.2 miles to drop off a shirt after y'all was already being weird to me. So anyways, yeah, I ended up quitting my job because they cut my hours and they were being funny. That's a big cut from 35 hours to 10 hours. That's a big cut. And for also people to be acting funny and like doing this whole, y'all, and one time she literally told me like there was a customer that was getting food at my register, like dog food at my register, and my manager literally told me to move my car so that customer could park there in the middle of a shift. By the way, I didn't move my car. Y'all know how I get down. I said, girl, bye. And then somebody else moved their car. What did that just was? I'm sorry, I didn't know the other parking spots were broken. Anyways, so yeah, so that's why I quit my job at PetSmart. They're being funny. They cut my hours. I couldn't even afford to work there, to drive, or to do anything. And my life was just already tragic as is. And then I rolled into that job at Amazon, and that ended up turning out trash because I didn't make no... If you didn't see the story, go watch this story. Go watch this story. I almost fought my manager at that job. So I got another job after that. I quit that job. Then I got another job, and I quit that job. I've had 5 jobs this year. But I just got another job that I'm going to be starting on December the 1st. So that's going to be amazing. And yeah, I'll keep you all posted. And I'll be posting more why I quit my job at whatever story times. And also, a lot of people have been asking me like about resume advice. So maybe I'll do a video on that because, child, I've done it all. Like, My resume is actually phenomenal. 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 But that's going to be another video. So, yeah. What is my life? So, to keep up with me when I'm not posting on here, all my social media is at Zachariah DeMilo. And my card page is at DeMilo_E90. And until next time. And they not getting their shirt back.